Okay, so let's maybe take care of this windshield now. Let's grab the cab and we'll just hide everything else. Let's actually do Control I first, and then we'll hide select it. And we'll jump into the back view here. And we'll just model out this windshield. Okay, so let's maybe start this with another plane. I'm just going to draw that out over top here. Just slightly bigger than the opening. And we'll also center here on the x-axis, so just right click the move tool and 0 at the x-axis, just to make sure things are centered. And we don't really need to have these segments here, let's get rid of those. We'll maybe leave one width segment here in the center. Okay, let's also go into the left view, just move that forward. Okay, and let's also throw our blue shader on that. Alright, let's collapse it down to edit poly. Okay, and the first thing we'll do here is just kind of bend it into the position we need, and it needs to go back obviously quite a bit here. It also tapers out in the center, a little bit more at the bottom than the top to kind of match the edges on the cab there. So let's go to vertex first. Let's go to left view here, grab those top verts, and we'll just push them back a bit. Alright, and let's maybe just do this in perspective. I'm just going to move that back on the Y. Okay, and I'm not worrying about the center one here, I'm just worrying about the ones in the corners. Okay, so we'll push that back in a bit like that. Alright, we'll do the same with the bottom 3 verts. So grab those, move those back a bit. And we just want to have kind of an even reveal here all the way around the windshield. Okay, so that looks pretty close. Let's grab the center vert here at the top. And it's going to be a little bit harder to see here, but we'll just pull it out a bit. Alright, just make sure you don't have any gaps behind it. Okay, let's make it a little bit more than that. Alright, and that looks pretty even. So we'll do the same thing here with the bottom one in the center. Grab that vert there, we'll just move it forward and just intersect it right into the body until we have pretty much an even gap all the way along the front. Alright, so that looks pretty close right there. So now we can add some more detail to this piece and then pull out those polygons around the frame. And actually, before I do that, let's actually move the center vert up at the bottom here just so it kind of follows those edges a little bit more. Okay, we'll just see if we need to readjust it here. Just push it back a little bit. Alright, that should be good enough. Alright, so to get the frame around the window here, I'm just going to actually inset both of these polygons here. So we'll grab those. Let's also turn our shading back on here. And let's open up inset. Okay, we're actually going to do it by group, not polygon here. It will take us up quite a bit here, and it's going to be a little bit hard to see. Let's do about 8 on that, and we'll hit OK. Okay, that should work fine. Let's maybe grab the center edge here. We'll do a loop on it. And we'll just give that one a chamfer as well. So we have a seam between each side of the windshield. And we'll take this up a little bit more. I'm not going to make it as thick as the rest of it. Let's maybe do it about 3 and OK. Alright, now we'll go back to polygon here and select those 2 polygons again. And we'll just extrude them in a little bit here. Okay, it doesn't need to be a lot on this particular piece. That looks pretty good right there. Let's do -2.5 and OK. And with the 2 polygons selected there, let's just actually detach those. Okay, so I'm going to go down to the modify panel here, detach, we'll hit that. And just make sure both boxes here are unchecked, and we'll just leave it named object 7. And we'll just hit OK to that, and I'll break the 2 polygons off as a separate object, which we can use for the glass later on. Okay, so let's give it a bit of a chamfer here. Let's just grab that glass, we'll just hide that for a second. Reselect the frame piece. And let's grab this edge right here in the center on each side. Okay, we'll do a ring on that. And that should select all 4 corners here around each side. So let's also hit loop. And you should have 12 edges selected when you loop that. Okay, so let's give these a chamfer. And we'll take this down a bit. And we don't need it to be a lot on this piece as well, so let's maybe do maybe a 0.6 and OK. Alright, and you can see we have a couple of extra polygons here, so we'll just clean this up really quick. Let's go back to vertex and to target weld, and we'll just weld this one to this one, this one to this one, and these ones up. Okay, we'll do the same thing up here at the top. Let's just turn off target weld, we'll grab the verts there, hit Z, and then we'll just weld these up. Okay, let's go back to edge here and we'll chamfer down the front edge around the holes. So let's grab an edge here and here, we'll do a loop on those. Okay, and just make sure that it actually goes around the entire opening. And we'll chamfer that down the same amount. And you can do a double or even a triple chamfer if you want it to be a really smooth rollover. I don't think I'm going to really worry about that here, so I'm just going to do a 0.6. And we won't be turbo smoothing this piece, so you don't really need to worry about quadding it up here, which you could easily do if you wanted to by just connecting this vert to this vert here on the top and bottom, and it would be quads. Okay, so let's see how that looks. Alright, let's maybe unhide all. And I think that looks fine. We could probably even bring it out maybe a little bit more. So I'm just going to control click that glass there. And we'll just slide it out a little bit more on the y-axis. Okay, we'll leave it like that. That looks pretty good. Alright, and we'll do the exact same thing, pretty much the same process over here on the side window to kind of finish this off on the door. Alright, so let's just grab that piece. We'll hide everything else. And let's go to the left view here. We'll just take off the turbo smooth by hitting the light bulb there to disable it. And for this one, I think we'll just make the trim out of a plane. So let's grab one of those. And we'll just draw it out here. Slightly bigger than the opening. Let's get rid of that middle segment. And we'll just collapse this down to editable poly. And go to vertex, and we'll just make this a little bit more close in size. Just going to bring these in a little bit and bring these bottom ones up, and we'll just pull this over. Okay, and we'll also move it into position here in the top view. Let's just pull that back, and we'll just push it into the door. Also apply our blue shader to it. Okay, and let's go back into the left view here. We'll go back to polygon, grab the polygon there, we'll do another inset on it, and we'll just take this up quite a bit here. Let's maybe do about 6 on this one as well. And okay. And we'll inset the polygon again, or extrude it in, sorry. So let's push that in a bit. Let's do -2.5 again, and okay. And we'll detach the polygon there for the glass later on. Okay, so back down, detach, make sure that both boxes are unchecked, and hit OK. And we can just chamfer down some of the edges here. Okay, so I'm actually going to turn the turbo smooth back on here so we can see where the curve is. Reselect the frame piece there, and we'll just do one of the corners at a time here because they're all going to need to be chamfered different amounts to kind of follow the curve. Alright, so let's grab this one here at the bottom right. And I think I just want to bring these bottom polygons up slightly. They're a little bit too far down. So bring this over a little bit more, just to even it out. Alright, something like that should work fine. Okay, so back to edge, let's grab that edge there. We'll do a loop on it. And let's chamfer it. And we'll take this up quite a bit here. Let's do maybe around 4. We'll hit apply, and we'll just bring the second one down to give it a double chamfer here. And we could probably even do a third one on it. So we'll just kind of evenly space those edges out, which will give us a nice curve. And if you have a newer version of Max, you can just up the segments if you have the option here in the chamfer dialog. If not, you just have to hit apply a couple of times and adjust the settings for each one. Okay, and if you want to adjust these edges here, just go into vertex, grab one of the verts there, put on your edge constraint, and you can just move that around and it won't screw up the profile. So you can just even those out if you want to. It's probably not really necessary in this situation. Okay, so we'll leave that one like that. We'll do the exact same thing up here at the top. Let's drop this back down to edge, loop this corner, and we'll do the same thing here. Alright, so take that up quite a bit. Maybe about a 3 or so on this one, and we'll just give it a double and a triple. Okay, let's just maybe space these two verts out a little bit more here. Okay, and let's do this one over here. So we'll loop that edge and do the exact same process, and this corner on the window is a lot softer than the other 3, so we're going to have to take up the chamfer amount quite a bit. Okay, so let's take it way up. Let's do maybe about 6 or 7 here. Hit apply, bring it down. And when you bring it down, just bring it down so that the edges are pretty much evenly spaced apart here, or as close as you can get them. And we'll do it a third time. And that should be fine right there. Okay, and one more here in the corner. And this one's pretty sharp here on the door, so we'll just maybe do one chamfer on this edge. Just loop it first and chamfer it down. Let's do a round of 1 or so on that, and okay. Alright, that'll take care of the frame there, and let's also chamfer down the outer edge, just soften it up a bit more. So grab one of these ones here, loop it, and chamfer. Dial that back a bit. Maybe around 0.5 or so should be good, and okay. And you can see it looks a little bit rough there in the corners, so if you want to, you can put a smoothing group on there. Let's just maybe do that quick. Just going to grab that edge there as well as the one on the chamfer. We'll ring them. Control-click polygon, and go way down in the modify panel here to the bottom. And we'll just put that on smoothing group 1. Okay, and let's maybe do the front ones as well. So I'm just going to grab a front edge, ring it, control-click polygon, and we'll put this on a separate group. Let's do this on maybe 2. And we'll turn off polygon. That'll just smooth it a little bit for us, so it's not so faceted. Okay, and I think we can probably bring this out a little bit more, so let's just grab the glass there as well and slide it forward a bit more. Okay, so that should take care of the door window. Next thing we'll do is maybe do the handle down here. So let's maybe just unhide all here. And we'll grab the door, let's do Control I again, and hide select it. And I don't think the blueprints will help us out with the handle here. Yeah, as you can see, that's a complete mess there. It's not going to be any help at all for us. So let's just maybe grab the door, hide and select it to get rid of the blueprints. And let's also turn off Turbo Smooth here. And we'll just model the handle out of maybe a plane. Alright, so we'll drag it a little bit bigger than the hole again. And let's move it forward. So let's push that out in front slightly. And we can also get rid of these segments each way. Alright, so we'll come to Editable Poly. And let's maybe give it a few extra edges here. It's going to grab the top and bottom there, do a connect. Let's do 2, and we'll just slide that out. And let's do maybe about 85 or so on the pinch with no slide. And okay, we'll do the same thing this way. Connect that up. And let's just maybe slightly dial this down a bit. Let's do about 83, and okay. And we'll grab that center polygon there. And we'll just extrude it in. Let's also put the blue shader on this piece. And let's extrude that polygon in. I'm not going to really worry about the amount here. Let's do something like that. Around 8 or so. And okay. And I think we want the inside to be a little bit more tapered, so let's just scale this polygon down in the left view. Okay, so we'll scale it down a bit. Maybe something like that. I could probably bring it a little bit more forward. And that should probably be about the right size. So let's go back to edge here and we'll just add some support edges here. So let's grab all the center ones, another connect. And let's maybe do about 85 here on the pinch with 2 segments. And okay, and we'll do the same thing side to side again. Okay, we also need a couple of support edges around these edges here, so let's bring this one and connect it up. And let's maybe just do 1 here, no pinch, and let's go slide that towards the back. And the reason why I'm only doing 1 at a time is I want the back to be a little bit more soft and the front to be a little bit more hard. Alright, so we'll put 1 there, about 75 or so on the slide, and then we'll ring the edge again and slide another segment towards the front. And we'll do maybe about negative 85 on that one. Okay, and let's maybe grab the outside border here, and let's hold shift and drag that back on the X until it touches up with the body of the door. Okay, and let's maybe ring this outside edge here, add a support edge there. Let's take that down a little bit more so it's a little more soft, maybe about 65 or so. And we also need a few on the front here, so let's just maybe do these ones in the left view. Let's grab these edges here, we'll do a ring. Let's actually do both sides at the same time. And we'll connect it up again with 2 segments. And just slightly pinch them out a bit. We don't need it to be too sharp. Let's do maybe about 40 or so on the pinch. And the exact same thing horizontally. Ring those and connect them up. Okay, that should be all the support we need, so we'll throw Turbo Smooth on there, 2 iterations, a nice line. Just see how it looks. And we could probably push it in a little bit more. I don't think we need it sticking out that much. Alright, so that should be fine for the back piece, and we'll just put something in the front, kind of like a latch or hand grip. Alright, so let's maybe drag out another plane here in the left view. Maybe something like that. And we'll also move forward. Okay, so just pull that out slightly in front of the other piece. Okay, so we'll just kind of model some kind of handhold here. Let's just collapse this down to a poly, and we'll add a couple of segments side to side. Alright, so let's do 2, and we'll pinch those out a bit. Let's do about 60 on the pinch, and okay. And let's also do a vertical one here. So we'll connect it up one segment, no pinch, and we'll slide that back a little bit more. Let's do about -30, and okay. And we want to kind of extrude or bend the surface out here, so we got kind of like a little bit of a handle. Let's maybe go to polygon and grab that polygon there, and we'll do an inset on this one. Let's take it up a little bit more. Let's do about 1.2 or so, and okay. And let's maybe grab this left polygon here, we'll delete it. We'll go back to vertex, we'll grab these 2 verts here, and we'll just pull those over and straighten out the edge. Okay, like that. And let's maybe grab this polygon here again, and we'll just move this out by hand. Okay, and let's see. Let's bring it out something like that, and we might give the end here a little bit of a flare, so let's just drag those polygons out a little bit more. Okay, so we are going to turbo smooth this piece. Let's maybe grab these front verts first, and I'm just going to give these a little bit of a scale, just to give it a little bit more of a taper at the end. And now we'll support it. Okay, so I'm going to start by insetting this polygon again. Alright, I'll take that way down. Let's do maybe about 0.3 on that, and okay. And then we'll do the same thing here. We'll just delete this polygon and grab those 2 verts and straighten them out here in the left view. Alright, so let's move those over. Okay, that'll give us a support edge around the front. And for the back piece here, let's just use ring and connect here. So I'm going to do a connect on that edge with 1 segment. And we'll just slide that down a bit towards the bottom. Let's do about maybe 80, 82 or something like that. Same thing down here at the bottom. Ring those 3 edges and connect them up. Okay, and I'm just going to even these 2 verts out a little bit more here. Okay, we need one more support edge right down the side there. So let's grab these edges, another connect, and we'll do that about the same, maybe 83 or 84, and okay. Alright, so let's grab this edge here, we'll ring that one, and let's do a connect on this as well with 2 segments, no pinch, or no slide, sorry. And we'll maybe slide those a little bit towards each side. I don't want it to be too sharp, so maybe do about 50 or so on the pinch with 2 segments. Okay, and we'll maybe throw a turbo smooth on here and see if that looks okay. Okay, and as you can see, it looks pretty crappy. It also is too round, so we want to make it a little bit more of an oval shape here. Let's go into the left view, turn off the turbo smooth. And to do that, we just need to add 2 edges right here in the center. Okay, so let's maybe do maybe do 2 segments and 40 on the pinch. Okay, that should give us a little bit more of a sharp shape. Okay, so that shape's pretty good, but you can see it looks a little bit weird right here. Okay, so we need to add a couple of additional segments here just to break up these long polygons. Right, and right down the center here is what's causing that problem. So let's grab an edge right here, ring that, do a connect, and we'll do 2 segments with no pinch or slide. And okay, we'll also add maybe 1 through this section, right in the center, as well as 1 right in the center this way. Okay, that should help the smoothing a little bit more here. Okay, that looks probably okay. We do need to have some thickness on it. So let's delete the turbo smooth. Let's add a shell. We'll right click the spinner for the outer amount, and we'll just take up the inner amount slightly. Okay, and you can see right there on that corner, it's kind of twisted. So let's go down here and we'll tick on straighten corners, and that'll attempt to straighten it out a bit for us. It's still not going to be perfect, but let's maybe do maybe 0.45 on the inner amount. It doesn't have to be that thick. Okay, so now we have that the thickness we want. Let's just collapse it back to editable poly. Gonna hit Alt Q to go into isolation mode, and we'll just jump over to polygon again, go around the back, and let's hit by angle here. We'll check that off, set it to 45 degrees. We'll just click here and try to select these back polygons. Okay, and just make sure that's only the back polygons, which we can delete. Okay, and then we'll need to add a little bit more support here to hold this outer edge. Okay, so let's do a ring on this corner here. Now that connects. And we only need one segment here because the back's open, so let's just slide that slightly towards the front. Let's do about -40. And okay, and we also need to add a support edge along the top as well as down each of these sides. And to do that, I'm just going to use quick slice. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in here at the bottom a bit, go to quick slice, and we'll just start over here outside the model. Click, and then take it all the way to the other side, try to straighten it out, click again. That'll cut that support edge for us. Do the same thing at the top, as well as at the back here. And you can use ring and connect if you want. This is a little bit faster sometimes, but either way will work. Okay, and then we also need one right down the front here, so I'm just going to ring one of these edges again. Do another connect with one segment. We'll just hit OK to that. And you can see it's twisted there, so I'm just going to go down here, put my edge constraint back on, and I'm going to make a planar on X, and I'll straighten the edge for us, so we'll just slide it over towards the outside. Okay, so let's put the turbo smooth back on, 2 iterations, and we'll see how that looks. Okay, it looks okay. It could probably use a little bit more work, but it's such a small detail, I'm not really going to worry about it here. Alright, so I think we'll just leave it as it is and move on. Alright, let's also maybe push it in a little bit here. And I think that should work fine for the latch. Okay, so let's maybe unhide all here. And we'll see how this thing looks. Okay, so we're almost done with the cab. I think the only thing we have really left to do is to mirror the pieces over to the other side as well as do the mirror on the door here, and that's going to be pretty complicated. We'll probably take care of that next. Let's just maybe put another material here on the windows. Okay, and these back ones here are still grouped, so let's just grab those and we'll just ungroup them. And we'll go around this side here. I'm just going to delete this one out. We'll mirror all the objects over afterwards for the doors and windows. Okay, so now let's grab the windows. And I think we'll just clone this material over to a new slot here. We'll give it a unique name. And let's just change the diffuse color to something a little bit darker. And we'll apply that to the windows. Alright, just to give it a little more contrast so we can see a little bit better. Okay, so I think that should work fine for the door, and we'll get started on the mirror next.